had a big debate on stage with myself and my two competitors, and I think we did okay, John, on that debate. All I know is that we got hundreds of volunteers to sign up afterwards. A lot of endorsements came rolling forward, and everybody's excited to get on the team. It is unbelievable, folks, the momentum that is building on this campaign so early, and the real reason is because of the early leadership from many of you who stepped forward and helped this campaign and got engaged early on. And said, I can see this, I get it, I know where we have to go as a country, and in the direction we need to go. We cannot wait until August. We can't wait till 2 weeks before the November election. We got to get this country back on track right away. A lot of you folks have already asked me, says, well, why the heck are you running? My dear wife Jan here, she's been still questioning that a whole lot. And you know, the kids are really excited about the opportunity. My sister, one of my sisters here tonight. My son's over in the back somewhere here tonight. The whole family is basically engaged here. One answer is I drew the short straw, and I had to move forward. But the serious answer is, just like you folks are here tonight, you've all in your past gotten behind different people because you care about the country and the direction where we're going, and what can I do to help out? So I asked that question about this time last year, what can I do to help out? And they said, John, you can run for the U.S. Senate if you really want to make a difference. And I said, wow, let me check this out, you know. And so I went across the state talking to different people, the leadership here, went to Washington, D.C., with a very, very simple message, is that we got to reclaim the American dream. We got to get America jump-started again. We got to bring common sense to Washington, D.C. We got to get a budget. We got to get a plan. All those basic things that I've done for over 33 years in business, take those things to Washington, D.C., and let's get us back in gear. Freedom is stuck in reverse. We've got to get this country going forward again. It's going to take people just like yourselves from the real world with real experiences to get to Washington. I ended up in the back far corner. I was telling one of the guys back there, I said, you know, we could solve everything that's wrong in this country today if we counted up 1 to 100 and all of you become senators for a month. We'll all go to Washington, D.C. We can get the job done really fast because of your background and experiences, not unlike my own. We know we can get it done. But continuing to vote for the same people over and over and over again and expecting different results, what was it Einstein said, continue to do the same thing as a definition of insanity? We've had enough insanity, and we all care. We've never been at a tougher time in our nation's history right now. We all know that. People are hanging on by their fingernails. They're questioning about their businesses. Should we go forward? I've crisscrossed this state. I've met so many wonderful people in agriculture, retail, business. They're all saying, John, we don't know where the next bunch of regulation is going to come on. What are we going to be doing? And some people are cashing it in. And I do know, bottom line, Americans love to win. We love to compete. You know, we love to hire people. We love to grow our businesses. We love to teach. We love to expand. We want to see our kids and grandkids to have more than what we have. That's the nature. That is the American dream. And this whole thing is coming to gridlock with a blizzard of regulations, with a horrible tax situation that we have here, and really, frankly, a lack of leadership and a lack of courage, because too many people in Washington, D.C. are worried about their own jobs and their own careers instead of the people that they were elected to represent. Folks, I've already had a career. I've already had a job. You know, I'm not in there for that. I'm in there to get a job done, 1 term, 2 terms max. My motivation is to work really hard and come back home. And I'll finish with a real quick story here, that part of my due diligence, as you all would do in business, to seek out, is this really something important to do? I found another person who is a U.S. Senator, by the name of Ron Johnson, in Wisconsin. He had 31 years in manufacturing, never ran for the U.S. Senate. I called him up here about this time last year, and I said, Ron, can my wife and I come up and meet you and your wife and figure out what the heck you're doing and why you ran. And this is possible, because he had never done this before. He took all his years of experience into Washington, D.C. Well, the first thing he said, John, I want you to know, of course my wife's here watching, listening to all this stuff, it's much worse. You know it's bad, but it's much, much worse than you could possibly imagine. I mean, really bad here. I said, oh, that sounds like a great job. and then he said, He said, and with great respect to those who you may be attorneys here, including one of my few best business partners, and I had to preempt it. My uncle was an attorney, my grandfather was one, and I took the LSAT, but the Marine Corps would seem to be a better career path for me. But anyway, Ron Johnson said, have you ever tried to get anything done with 57 lawyers around the table? And I said, well, we got a couple in our business, and sometimes they're helpful and sometimes they're not. But not with 57. You got to mix it up with different skills and backgrounds and abilities. And then he really hit me. He says, John, if you want to go into this thing called politics and watch everything good you've done your entire life being torn down and destroyed, of course, Jan's taking notes on that, and watch all the horrible things that are going to be said, and have the courage to come through to the other end. He said, we will be able to double the number of manufacturers to 2 in the U.S. and I'll have somebody to talk to. So that's what we need, folks. And around this country, whether it's the county council or the school boards or the U.S. Congress or the state legislators, people are coming in to get involved that weren't involved before. You all are here today on a beautiful, beautiful, typical winter day in St. Louis, to get involved here. This is such a personal encouragement to me. Our family, we're all in. With you being here makes a great statement that you're all in here. I know that we can, with your commitment, with your financial support, with your hard work, with your time and your effort and your prayers, we can begin to make the biggest change in our country right here in Missouri. It starts right here in our own backyard. You guys are part of the leadership team. You guys have the priorities right. We're all in here together to take this thing all the way through to victory. Our polling numbers are looking great. Our attacks are ready to go. We're all geared up for this great battle. It's going to be a long road. We're going to do everything we can to fight this thing to the best of our abilities. And I have absolute confidence at this point in time that we're going to take this thing all the way through. Right. Because just like you, just like me, we want to change up there. We can make it happen. With your help, we can do it. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for coming. All right.
Here. A couple things. John is obviously going to